Hello everyone, you're welcome on Scoop on Scoop. My name is Esther Muhozi and I am here to bring it out. Speak it all, say it all. So I'm here with two beautiful people. I'm gonna have them introduce themselves and then we're going to dig in and kick in. I am excited. Please, we'll start from my right. Tell us your name.
Hi. Hello, my name is Gilan. I am a curator and a facilitator of global conversations. I also have different other side hustles. I'm also a training lawyer. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. I'm excited to see where this goes.
All that is you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. And then we have a gentleman on my left. Please tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name is Clement Idaguha. I do art like for living and I'm a co-owner at Kigali Soul Creative Hub. Yeah, that's
pretty much it. So, we are here as three individuals, young adults, and we are going to talk about something that is happening. And guess what? People don't talk about it a lot, but we are here to pull it all out. So the topic of today is, should we or should couples move in together before marriage? Now, someone might be like, what is moving in? Moving in is when a man or a woman decides to pack your bags, pack your belongings, and move in with a person. Mind you, a person you've not married yet, and you start living a life together.
So, you share a bed, toothbrush, everything.
Everything. I love that you started on the bed. Anywho.
And toothbrush, and I'm like, okay.
That happens too, right?
Sometimes they do share toothbrushes.
Definitely happens.
Let's jump to it. We are going to hear from a gentleman here what he thinks. What do you think moving in together is? And like, is it something that we should do? Or is it something normal to do? Please fill us in.
It's something we should do before even thinking of like marriage in the first place. Because like you really don't even know each other before you decide to get married, right? You just meet once. Like sometimes on dates, you pretend to be good, you pretend to be things that you're not, right? And like that, like life of pretending, like it has to go until you get married, right? And then the time, boom, you're in the house, that's when you start discovering like your partner, like is totally different person from the person you've been dating. And then you're like, oh my God, I wish I can leave this house, but you can't even go anywhere because when you're another, like you're there by law, by families and so, like society, like you can't live a life, you know? You just.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't move out? What do you mean?
You really can't. Like, let me tell you. Like, you know, like there is moral, you know, of society, right? Mm-hmm. Like, first you are like, oh my God, how is my family's gonna see me? How are they going to think about me if I leave my partner, right? Even society, they'll start like, you know, talk about it, be like, oh my God, like it's only 1 month and she's leaving or he's leaving, you see? Mm-hmm. And it's all like, I think all of that problems, it's because like you don't know that person really. You didn't have time to know them, to live with them, to feel their presence in your life, to wake up and see them and even know if they snow, you know. It's like you have to know the person before, you know, you decided to engage in the marriage, you know.
Is he insinuating that before you move in with a person, you do not know them, you do not get to know them? Is that what you're telling us?
Let me tell you, let me correct you like this. I feel like there's something that you're not understanding here. There's a saying in Kinyarwanda that umuntu ni mugari, right? Like a person is so broad, right? Mm. Do you know that there are some people who met in one day and they spoke on the phone for 6 hours that know each other better than people who've been living together for 30 years?
That's a lie.
It's not a lie at all.
Definitely that's a lie.
Let me tell you something. People have the tendency to hide, you know, who they truly are, especially when they want to impress somebody. Let me tell you, a lady that you moved in together will still have that thing on the back of her mind saying that she would want you to marry her And trust me, she's not going to reveal her personality to the fullest.
I would
Yes.
say that all
Let me
the
ask
Because
you,
let me
like-
tell you, from the upbringing of a child, of a girl, did you see like a mother strolling a baby girl on a stroller in the street? They're having fun, but this little kid has a toddler, like has a doll, like a teddy bear, you know? Like she's a baby, but she also has a baby as a doll. So these are things that are instilled in us as we, like it's nature. Mother Nature tells us that you are a woman, you're supposed to be with a man. Like now we are talking about the terms on which you live with that man. That girl is not going to reveal herself fully. Maybe for men, yes, because men are the one that mostly take the decision to wed somebody, right? But trust me, if I was a lady in your house, I would always be at the age. I would be like, no, I need to impress this guy. I need to do this and that, da 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 da.
How long can you
to
do that?
keep that man to?
How long can you do that?
Oh, trust me, being a woman means you can do things for as long as it takes for you to get what you want.
But like this is kind of insinuating that all these people that are moving together, they're doing it because they want to get married. Some people just moving together not to get married. By the end of the day,
Definitely.
you guys,
Not to get married?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
like I could
What
just
for though? Like what for?
what for? I like this guy. He likes me. We like each other. And guess what, you guys? Let me tell you. Do you know that moving together saves a lot of money? I'm bringing it out. So, like, for example, I work for 700. My boyfriend, I'm already calling him the husband.
Yeah? Girl,
My
stop.
boyfriend works for 500.
I'm cringing right now.
I mean, like, so we are living in two different apartments. Probably I'm paying 300. He's paying. If we were living together, this is my point of view. If we're living together, we're only paying 300 for the house, and the other 300 is
So
there.
for you, moving in is more of a financial decision
There's a lot of things
than
involved.
No, it's more of
I would like you guys
it's
to
more of
paint.
reality
okay.
than being delusional.
Whoa!
Let me tell
Being
you.
Delulu is
Like-
a Salulu.
Yeah, let me tell you. Like, first you have to know, like, what's the purpose of your relationship? That's the first thing you need to ask yourself before even going to something. Why am I going to be with this person?
Have you tried that before?
Definitely.
Now that he's mentioned about the fact that it happened to him, we want to know actually how does it happen? You people, don't you want to know how it happens? Do they sit and make a meeting and say, "Stop! Tomorrow we are moving in together"? How does it happen? Clement, tell us. How do you decide?
And, like, it wasn't like we sat and discussed about it. We're like, hey, can we move in? We're like, oh, okay, it's a good idea. Like, we're like, okay, cool.
Before we even get there, I would like for you to break it down for us. Like for you to reach to that stage, what happened? You just sat and you are like, okay, cool.
No.
That's
Like,
a big
no,
decision. How
like,
can you sit and
like-
be okay, cool about something that your life depends on?
Like, our life depends on different things.
Yeah.
It depends on your priorities, where you feel like my life's gonna depend on this. Sometimes you might be with that person and then your life doesn't depend on it.
Okay.
Because like,
I mean-
if you say that, it means that like your life has to evolve around that person, right? It means if you decide that and she's not there or he's not there, your life is not gonna go on. That's what you mean. But that's not the truth. The truth is you might live in the same house and then everybody like do their things. They live a life outside and then you come back in the same house and have like responsibilities. So
Okay.
that's the thing. You really have to know, why am I with this person? Like, why do I want to be with her? Like what's the purpose of this relationship? And then from there, you would know exactly if you really want to be with her in the same house or not.
I mean, your life. I get you. I totally agree with you that someone's life doesn't have to revolve around another person.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in independence. But why is that person there? They have to bring something to the table that you need in your life. It means your life is not fully dependent on that person, but to some level, you depend on that person because you depend on them for pleasure, sexual pleasure. You depend on them to emotionally support you. You depend on them to help you financially. I mean,
Gillen,
Definitely.
clearly, what I see is you seem to be against this moving in together. So why don't you break for us? Break for us. Why? Why do you think this is something that youth shouldn't be doing, the young adults shouldn't be doing? Because he has brought up the point of it's something that you're supposed to learn a person before you make the big decision of actually getting married to this person. You're supposed to learn about this person, get to know about their internal habits, you know, get to know like what are those hidden things that they wouldn't want to show you when you're just moving in. Because like possibly, like the way I understand is like most of the times when you're meeting these people, you're meeting for clubbings, you're meeting for luncheons, dinner and
Dinners
stuff.
like with makeup
So
and everything. You never know
yeah,
that
so
person.
the only thing
Or you're
that
just
you're
meeting
seeing,
for a fling,
so
right?
no, like the only things this person is showing you are the good things. But moving it together kind of shows you the other side.
They have to
That is
side,
his
yeah.
point.
Like
So why do you seem like you are against moving in?
I want to quote what he said about when you want to live a life, you have to live a purposeful life. And purpose cannot go alone without commitment. Purpose and commitment go hand in hand. For me, it's more like marriage and just like joining your life with someone else is more of a leap of faith, because you can never know a person truly. But are you willing to commit to whatever that is? And, that means you have the courage and you're brave enough to just take that person. I mean, for me, I don't have to get to live with someone to get to know them. We would spend some time away. For example, there are better options of how you could get to know a person better and how they behave in different situations, like travel together to a jungle and see how they would behave, how like their decision-making skills and, the way they react to different things. That's the way for me I get to know, right now I'm a single girl. I'm on the market. But
I hope you had that.
for sure,
I hope you
for
had
sure,
what
when I'm in a
she said.
relationship, I like to get to know my person through talking, like immensely communicating, like asking the right questions. Okay, I would like to break this to you that I've asked so many right questions and I thought I knew the person very well in the past, but they ended up deceiving me, meaning, overnight it just happened. I believe that when you love a person, it's a leap of faith. Whether you move in together or you get married, you just need to be able to define what a purposeful life is, vis-a-vis the commitment. Commitment for me means that you're committed to officialize that, to legalize it, to let the whole world know, not to just be in the background enjoying husband benefits when you are, I don't know, you are not a fiance, you are a boyfriend. I mean, a boyfriend is not supposed to have a woman living her life to fulfill marital duties. I mean,
and why do you feel like a woman should have like the responsibilities that a man have? Like, I mean, a man has in a relationship when they're not married. You see that this is where the problem is. It has to be both way. Like when we talk about this, it's always about women, right? It's always about like a man is getting this from he didn't marry you and then he's getting like.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a traditional woman. I believe a man is a provider, and I believe that a woman is a keeper of a home.
Yeah,
She keeps the home.
Then when we
Now,
talk
let me
about
break it down for you. Traditionally, us growing up or in different families in Africa, in my country, Rwanda, I've noticed that girls, when they grow up, there are certain gender roles that we are given in our families. Not to say that we are not as empowered as our brothers, but let's say that, your father wants you to go up on the roof, right, to fix something. You, as a girl, you are protected because they believe that women have that kind of frailty. Even when, let's say, both of you, your boyfriend and your girlfriend or husband and wife, you are like electricians. Is that the word? English is English thing,
For what?
right?
The word for what?
Electricians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you're in a home, even though that lady, she could climb up, I don't know, like to what level. But when you're in a home, a woman tends to be like, babe, can you go? I mean, she doesn't even have to ask. a true masculine man is going to, be like, I don't want my girl go up the roof. I'm going to go there. I'm going to fix things.
Yeah.
Just because, there are certain realities we cannot ignore. Much as I'm so much for the women empowerment, I've always been beating boys in my class academically, but I also understand that I have this thing to me,
It has to be there. Like
that only can be had by a woman, right? Can't you see? Oh, God.
For me, I think it's like technically, if you go like deep down there, it's not about like culture, like thinking. It's about like being safe around your partner, right? Like there is like, because for the first, if you're with someone, there is like a safety that you need from them. It's not even a safety. Like it's a good feeling that you get around them, which works in different ways. Like for women, they have to feel safe around you, that you are protected, right? So like that woman will never want to be with you if they don't feel safe around you. So like for men, it's different. They don't need to feel safe around you. They need to feel the respect. They need to feel that presence of you, like your presence in their life. They really want to come home and then find good food. It might not even be good food, but like the hard to use to cook that food. That's what men seek from women, right?
Yeah, I love that you mentioned.
It's not about culture. I don't know if you get this.
You mentioned safety, protection, and respect.
And
Yeah.
coming back home to good food.
Now, let's break it down. Coming back home to good food.
Definitely.
So you definitely realize that a woman is a keeper of the home. She's going to do the most things to keep that home tidy, to make sure that, you have a great meal to yourself.
And
that's
that
why
means
I'm
getting
saying,
marital benefits.
absolutely, you are getting marital
But also
benefits.
I provide, and providing is exactly the
But
same
she's
thing.
providing to what if she also has a job?
That's what I'm saying. It has to be like the mutual understanding. If you say maybe like like when you take a home and you base a home on a woman, it's not a wrong thing to like. It's not a wrong way of thinking, but also it's a wrong way of thinking, because like it feels like whatever things that goes wrong, a woman lose. But technically, it's not that way.
Guys, let's take it back. Let's bring it back to what we're actually saying. Should or can couples move in together? Guys, the battle is getting high. So we're going to find out what are the consequences. Like, why not moving? Why moving?
Yeah.
Why not moving? For sure. When I came to have this conversation with you guys, thank you for having me, Hadassah, for sure. I wanted to keep an open mind. I want to learn from him. I want to learn from you. And I also would like for you guys to learn from me.
Sure.
I have a legal background. I'm a training lawyer, and I'll be a lawyer soon, maybe this year or the next. But I'm like, when you move in, there's that lack of legal protection. The law in my country and in most of the countries in Africa or even Europe, they don't recognize that moving in together. Whatever house you're living in, however fancy, if you live in a mansion or you live in I don't care if you have a yacht, it's not going to be recognized as a home. It's always going to be taken as like
ghetto?
It's a joke. It's a joke to some extent, especially legally. Now, I want to bring it to your attention that if you wanted to move in with your girl, maybe you could move to South Africa, because South Africa acknowledges or recognizes the rights of the people that have moved in, especially the marriage wasn't allowed for the gay people, but they were living together. So South Africa took that into consideration. So they started recognizing the rights of the people that just wants to live together. Now, what are some of the grounds that they based on saying, we have to really recognize this? When you move in together with your partner, you have a responsibility to care, which is something very important, a responsibility to assist as a partner. And now you see this woman or this man is doing all of these things to somebody, right? But in the end, let's say, unfortunately, a man or your woman ends up dying. Do you inherit their thing? There's a case in South Africa where a woman filed in the court. She was like, why am I not going to inherit his estate when I've been taking good care of him? when I've been there, when I've been like taking good care, like living with him on daily basis, even more than some of his family members, his mother, why am I not going to inherit? So South Africa, based on that case and other similar cases that were filed, to make sure that they bring it down to recognizing people that wants to move in together. In that particular case, legal protection is ticked.
Okay.
Even Australia, like they call it a common law relationships, right? And you know, you can move there, but in countries where there is no protection at all for ladies or for the men that are in that relationship, it's tricky. Now imagine you're moving with your girl, you are having sex as a married couple, and now you end up having children. Children are born out of the wedlock. And do you know the chaos it might cause when you just want to break up anytime? Do you file a co-parenting? Like, I don't even think people who are cohabiting are allowed to file for co-parenting, because you guys are living together. Co-parenting has to be on terms of whether you have separated, right?
They got to protect themselves and not get pregnant. That is so.
Well, no, honey, that's not always the case. These people are having sex raw. Sometimes they might even forget to get contraceptions. Okay. They might just be having all this fun and be reckless or decide to have children. But are those children protected? Is the woman protected? I'm a woman. I'm not going to speak for the men, because most of the time it's the man that brings the bread to the table, the main breadwinner of the family, meaning that in most cases, I'm not talking about girls like us, right? Or some nurse buddies, lawyer buddies, or girls who are willing to work, right? Most of the time, it's the man that has like the possession of a lot of property. This man is the provider. Now, when he leaves you, where are you left? You are left on nothing. You are left in tears. And let me tell you, some of the reasons why girls get stuck in cohabitation or marriages they don't like is because they're not independent enough to have their own thing, so they just move in to depend on a man financially. In most cases,
that means the problem is not the relationship or moving. The problem is women don't like who doesn't want work, right?
No, I mean, you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me from the start to finish. I broke it down very well for you.
I did. Like, the thing is, like, in Africa, like, let's talk about Africa and Rwanda, right? Like, there's this thing where we want to build laws that abide on culture, which is most of the time...
They call it customary law.
Yeah, like, which is wrong 100%. Because we are... Like, I'm telling you the reason why. We are in a world where, like, the world...
You're literally in the room of two lawyers.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, because, like, right now... Like,
you cannot say it's wrong. Customary law is
like,
very essential.
Right now, if I say it's wrong, like, and then right now, I don't know exactly the percentage, as I was saying, like, as I was saying, that marriage is a failed practice.
It's a failed practice?
Because, like, that we do numbers, right?
Yeah,
based on numbers, it's a failed practice, right? It means low, like, it's not enough to hold the marriage, right? So, like,
oh God, tell me about those numbers. Like, tell me about those numbers. Tell me about the reasons why you think marriage is a failed. That's a big statement to make.
Okay, yeah, it's a big statement. Like, I don't know exactly, your lawyers, and I hope you know, right? So, like,
well,
look at...
It's known that the divorce rate has increased. And
more than 60%.
If you're saying it's a failed project or whatever, why do people still get married? And why do they still value those things? I mean, like, now, put it on a beam a little bit.
That's what I was saying.
They get married and divorced.
And divorced. Because, like, we just want to practice something, like, we don't understand why we are doing that. It's because of society and morals, you know. We are doing that sometimes by force, like, because, you know, if you're a girl...
And what is cohabitation going to help in that particular case?
That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, like, if I decide to live with my partner, like, with my girlfriend, right? And then this time we're like, you know what, it's not working anymore, right? It happens, right?
Heartbreak, you
like,
guys.
You know, like, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to have my own life. this, you know.
Let me
Are you
ask you,
thinking-
is it a mutual decision though?
Give me a
Like
second.
now, that's what I told you.
Give me a
That
second.
sometimes breaking up is only on the basis of one person's needs.
It could be
Whereas
the
that
girl's-
is
it
the
could
other.
be the girl's
Yes,
decision
it can
to
be
break
mutual, but in that what he's saying, is it mutual? Most of the times, breaking
be
up
not.
comes from
No,
one
what I'm
person.
bringing up- What I'm bringing up is, so if we are going to socialize or make it like it's something normal to move in, it's very hard for a man who has seen a girl move around in different relationships, be interested. You're going to call them names, sluts, whatever.
Even the body count becomes an issue when a girl has been with intimate.
I have friends, like when you're here, like, oh my gosh, she moved it. Did you hear about it? Like
I
they
mean,
moved
yeah,
it together.
well,
I'd be like, how?
Hadassah, that I actually don't care about what another person says about us.
No. Like what I'm saying is, for me, naturally, okay, give me one reason. Why do the girls mostly they hide it from their friends or their parents or their aunties whatsoever? Because insinuating that this thing is wrong. Because okay, first answer me before I go even very far. Would you marry or choose to marry a woman like Esther, who's been in 5 different relationships, moving in with those 2 people, mind you?
Yeah, I would. Like this, yeah, I would. Cause
Let her finish. Let her finish.
yeah.
Okay.
Mind you, this person I'm living with, we are doing all the marital things. We're sleeping together. We're doing like everything.
Oh, baby, go get the groceries. Come cook me a meal so that when I come home, it's prepared.
Leave alone that. I'm literally
Run me a bath.
I'm literally a wife for 1 month here. I go and be another wife. I go be another wife. Would you marry me?
Definitely, I would. Let me tell you, like, you know, like, there is something that I've said, like, when we were starting, I was like, it's good to live a reality more than delusional life. I'm gonna go back on it. The reason why I said that.
You would marry me.
It depends on how I feel about you.
No,
like,
I want you to break it down for us.
Yeah, I
What's
will.
delusional? What's reality?
Yeah. I'll do that. Like,
Yes.
let's say, like, you've been doing all that, right? Like here, most of the time, we'll always be like, if she's been around like that, what's her body count? Trust me, some girls who are living in their house with their parents, they have like higher body counts than like. Yeah, I'm telling you. Let me tell you, a girl like who lived with 5 men, right, in different time, right, living in the same house. It would simple to trust that girl that she has a low body count than a girl who's been dating like dudes every 3 months, every 3 months.
Parents.
Okay, now
Let me tell you.
let's not make it
let me tell you,
a body
like-
count issue, honestly,
Yeah,
because it's okay. You can
yeah,
have
like-
as many
Men as you want, like,
as you
you
want,
see,
right?
that's
But
the
why
thing.
you saying, oh, a girl and a body count? What's wrong? Like, what's wrong with a girl having a high body count?
I'm not saying it's a problem. Yeah, that's why I'm saying that
Would
it's
he
so
marry
simple.
me? Would he marry me? If
I would
was
definitely.
moving?
Yeah, I would. Let me tell you, it's a like.
I wonder how many guys think
Because
like
you're
that at this
already
moment.
open to having a bunch of girls who are afraid of commitment. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm not attacking you. It's starting to get a little
Okay.
personal.
Yeah.
But I feel like you are a bunch of people who are afraid to be committed, but you want the results of what commitment
But he's
gives, like the
committed.
benefits.
But I'm committed. Like I provide for my God.
You are?
If
Yeah.
he's moving in with a girl,
Where's the commitment at? Actually, let me tell you,
okay, let's
whatever
say,
is
what's
not
the
put on the
commitment?
paper is not, it doesn't count for me. I'm, try me.
Is it paper?
Well, whatever. Commitment needs to have something
Word.
legal, something.
Like that legal thing,
Can
you
you
can destroy it
imagine?
like this.
That a few minutes ago he said, like, when you want to move, you're like, okay, the first thing he said, you're like, okay, cool, let's be together. When you're asking, like, to what extent do you guys get in your relationship that you want to move in together? It was like, you sit and you feel like, okay, cool.
No. Like there is a back.
Yeah, no.
There is a back
Look,
position.
look,
'Cause
look, let me finish. Let me finish. You're like, okay, cool, let's move in together. And now you want to break up the relationship. You want to break up, you're like, I'm done. I mean, it's that easy, just like a snap.
Let me tell you. You see, like, okay, you're lawyers, right? Yeah. You know, like the problem
Lawyers,
in Rwanda.
I mean,
yeah.
how is
you
that
know,
solid?
Hey, you know, like the issue in Rwanda where like marriages, like people are killing each other in marriages, right?
Yes.
Oh,
A lot. Like right now, the rate is going high, right?
Oh,
it's because
okay.
those people, right? Like this is what I was saying. Like it's a failed practice. Like I mean, like marriages. You find out like you are living with a person, and then you can't live because of all those things that are with
Being
the
stuck
marriage.
in
Yeah, you're
marriage.
stuck in a marriage, right? Like there is kids, there is families, there is like a law and all that, right? To the level you had this person, you feel like you don't even want to be in the same space with that person, but you can't leave. To the level you be like you pretend, like, and then you end up poisoning your
Okay,
partner.
darling, let me.
So
Okay,
like
I'll
let me
let you
finish. So the thing is like, but like if I'm with you, it means every minute that I spend with you, I want it. Every month, every hour that I spend with you is because I want it. It's not because of the child,
Yeah,
the
that's
children's
cute.
that we have, the children we have together. It's not about the responsibilities that we
Yes,
have
it
together.
is
I'm
cute.
there because I want to be there. It means every minute that I'm with you, I mean it. But like in the marriages, most of the time, you will never know if you're the partner who wants to be with you. You will never tell.
Okay, I want to clear things a little bit here. You mentioned about people killing each other in marriage. Honestly, I want to look at the camera. Where's the camera at? That's great. Yes, in Rwanda, the rates are not getting as high as he said. People kill each other like there is criminal rates everywhere increasing in the world. Don't get me wrong that, when you get married to a Rwandan, they'll suddenly kill you. They'll wake up and they'll slaughter you. That's not who we are. It's just
I'm not saying
unfortunate that
that.
some people are criminals, right?
What he's saying is,
So that is like unfortunate. In some unfortunate cases, it happens like it would happen in every other country.
I feel like what he wanted to bring out, you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
What he wanted to bring is people get married, and they stuck to they feel the urge that they need to stick together because afraid that if I go back home with my children, what's gonna happen? The society, more kids,
How are
and
they going to
everything.
judge me?
So they'll rather stay there, fight every day,
Yeah.
and they might end up killing each other because they're afraid of going back home. So moving in together is like, I've decided to move in with this guy. I'm going to be with him. But if things don't work out, I'll go. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. Let me tell you one thing. I'm not against marriage, really.
Yes.
But like, for me, like, cause like the truth is like, marriage, as I was saying, is a failed practice in the world. Some countries they're over 9, right? So like it means at least nobody knows like how things are going to be. Nobody knows the future. We don't know how, like we can't predict what's going to happen. But at least I need to know that I can even save some time with you, right? I need to know you first. I need to know how you wake up. Like I need to know your moods before I decide to marry you, right?
Yes.
Let me tell you, through my experience, like for me, like moving in with my girlfriend was the best thing that ever happened to my life. Like I
Please
wouldn't be.
don't make me start joining
No.
your
I'm just saying, like
ideologies.
I wouldn't be.
Because you're being cute.
I wouldn't be who I am right now if it wasn't for my girlfriend. Like she has been like, I don't know how I can say it, but she has been everything to me. Like I was just a boy,
God,
and then
okay,
the time
I'm
I
about to
moved in
start
with
crying.
her, I became a man, right? So like I know like the power of having her around me. Like she's this person who woke up in the morning, she's like, hey, can we do this? Do you think this can work? Like we always create something together. We always have a life. Like right now, even the business that I own was because of her. Like it couldn't have existed if I didn't meet her.
I just wanted to make a little bit of to clear things a little bit. When you talked about people in marriages, though. Yes, I am honestly. Yeah. I mean, I'm still standing on what I believe because
Yeah.
these are, some strong beliefs that I cannot run away from. But I want to tell you, maybe to inform you, that people in marriages, there are grounds for divorce. If I remember very well, the law of family and persons, the law governing family and persons in Rwanda, Article 218 has grounds for divorce that I would really
one of
like.
2019?
Yes, that I would really like for you to go through and see that even cruelty, like talking to your partner badly, like treating them bad, is a ground for divorce. And this should be public knowledge. right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to be stuck with it, to be stuck with each other or on each other, because there is ways you can always divorce when it's no longer serving you, instead of killing each other. Now, let me bring you back to what cohabitation is. Now, two people who have moved in together end up becoming a family with kids, right? And two other people got married and now they have children, right? Now, they both want to break up. The cohabitation ones, they don't have any legal base. They do. There are some grounds to help for the benefit of the kid. But what about you two individuals that initiated the act? You are not necessarily very well protected. But these two people who are in a legally recognized marriage under a certain country's laws, for example, Rwandan law, they have grounds. They don't have to get stuck with each other. But these ones, they're not protected as individuals, either man or woman, even their children, because they were born out of wedlock. So you don't have to fear that, oh, when I get married, I get stuck, because there is law to protect you. There is grounds that say if your partner treats you bad, if your partner goes away or doesn't fulfill their duty, if they don't even take care of you or satisfy you in bed, they don't want to sleep with you, those are some of the grounds that you could base on separating.
Like,
you
I'm
don't
not
have to
saying
stay
no.
with each other.
I'm not saying no.
Right?
That's like in terms of law, right?
No, let's look at the protection though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's okay.
Who ends up with what? Like, let's say now. Let me make this clear. You're saying that you have your business because of your girl. She has helped you grow in one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that in some cases you could even have businesses together.
Definitely, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, what happens? Because are you in a community? You know, there is community of property when you are in a marriage. There is different remedies, right? I mean, you don't have any of that. Imagine the time you break up. Will you guys remember about being human and sharing because you both created it?
Like, let me ask you. You said
Now, there is no law to enforce.
No, like, let me tell you. Let me tell the thing. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, you need to know the person. You need to have the understanding of why you're gonna be with someone. Like, we have business together. Like, we have like RDB certificate. She's on the business. She has 50% of the company. I have 50% of the company. Like it's about not like it's not about like you know, like trying to create like chaoses. It's about like learning how to do the right thing. The right thing is we're together, but we have a business together. She has to take 50 and I have to take 50, and legally it's like that.
Well, that was wise.
Like, you see, that's the thing.
Wise.
So like that's
Okay.
I'm just trying to, like, what I'm just trying to say here is trying to not like stuck with the culture stuff that are not working anymore. I'm just like
No, but don't say they're not working anymore.
Let me ask a
I don't want us to get there, because the
Like,
culture,
okay, like,
the culture works. It
let's
still
say
works.
facts.
That's why.
let's say facts into marriage.
Also, give me numbers, give me statistics. Like, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about facts, give me facts. Like,
Facts, right?
because it really breaks my heart when you say that culture is no longer working. Culture is a huge thing. Like,
Okay, like
even
okay,
in terms of marriage, in terms of marriage, it still works.
it does
To
not.
some extent.
Because like
Well,
right now,
some
marriage it's a
extent,
failed.
No, I
process.
mean,
Let me remind her.
I would
let me
like the
remind
numbers though. Like, I feel
About
like
60%.
More than
More than
60%.
60% of people that are married each year divorce. Mind you, they could be married 2 months ago and they're already divorced.
Yeah.
So like everyone is getting divorced lately, and he thinks that the key to these problems, one of the keys to these problems is moving in together with the person, get to know the person better. That way, we are going to reduce these divorces that lead to stray children, that lead to poverty,
Definitely.
People who divorce, sometimes their kids are neglected. Their kids do not have the parental. I was raised with one parent, and I understand how bad it affects a child to grow with one.
Are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is
God.
that maybe this could be a solution to these people that get married without knowing each other. And the next thing, he goes home, he married her, he loved her, then they go home, maybe the lady uses the latrine and does not close the lid. There's like, I did not know that. I cannot tolerate that. It's too much. Divorce. But if they left together for like 2 months. Who know? Then he'd be like, babe, can you put the lid down? Cool, I'll put the lid down. If I can't take it anymore, I'm like, you know what? This is not working. I don't think we can get married because I cannot turn.
Let me tell you one thing. Like some people are capable of loving each other, but not being in a marriage.
No, look.
Let me tell you, you might be in love with someone. You love this person like so much, but there is things that they do you can't take.
When you move in together, it means a person you are with is perfect because it's now a different kind of being together.
Like if you manage
no,
to live
a person
with them,
remains a person, whatever the setting is.
Then so, you will know before you get to the marriage.
Hadassah, I would like for you to go back to revise your statements, saying that, or when you are when you have children who are outside the marriage, they're going to have street children. Where do you think children are most likely to be violated? Okay, the rights of the children in cohabitation or the marriage?
But it happens. It happens.
Do you know,
that when people divorce, children in most cases become the how do you call it, collateral damage? This is why the law comes in to protect these children.
Yes, of course. Exactly. Now, cohabitation. Look at cohabitation where there is nothing protecting those children. So where's the probability, the most probability for the children's rights to be violated?
I think no, not all the time. Like the thing is, even law protects those children.
Yes,
yeah,
that are from cohabitation.
Oh God!
It doesn't protect.
It's not even from cohabitation. Like I think when you get a girl
different
pregnant,
kind of protection.
Government.
You guys, it's got fire. So the topic that we're talking about is whether we can move in together as couples, as young adults before marriage, and how this affects the youth. If this is something that we should keep on doing, and we have two beautiful people here with beautiful minds that are discussing on this topic. So let's see where this goes. I'll go back to Clema. Do you think the fact that you now have a business because of the beautiful idea that became from your girlfriend who you moved in together, do you think shouldn't have given you the same idea even if you're not living together?
That's what I was saying. Nobody knows the future. Nobody predicts what's gonna happen. But only thing that I know, right? You need to take decisions that you feel like they're okay with you, right?
Yes.
Because right now, I'm just saying it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I know myself, I know who I was, I know what I was doing back then, right? I know I thought of it before moving with her. I was like, what am I doing? What am I gonna do this, right? I was like, one way or another, we humankind, whatever let me give you a small example. Right now we're talking about when we talk about humankind, we talk about creature that needs to be ruled, that needs to be disciplined, right? And then you're most of men, I'm just talking as a man, there is almost things that we do because we feel they're okay, right? But definitely there is something that you do because you feel they're okay, but lately in the future, you realize, why was I doing that? That was not good to do, but you didn't know that it wasn't because you didn't have someone to discipline you through that, right? So for me, I always feel you always need discipline, right? Sometimes
yes.
There's things that you're doing maybe let me tell you one thing. Let's say I'm with my dudes and then we go out we drink for the whole night, wake up in the morning drunk and everything that but sometimes it feels like it's a good thing. It's youth. It's what we're doing, right? But one way or another, it's something that you don't need, actually, right? For me, I felt if she's there's things that I'm not gonna do.
So marry her. Marry her.
Hey, I'm not saying marriage is a bad thing, really. I'm just saying, right? So the time that she has been there in my life, it's not for the first day when she came, I knew that was going to happen. But the time I moved in with her, she was trying to discipline me. She was if you do this and this and this, you think you have yours, but time is running so fast. You really need to stop this when still early so that you start focusing on other things, right? And
can you get back to me? I feel my mouth is burning. I'm on fire.
For me, moving in with her, it was the best thing. Because I had to change the life I was living.
Yeah.
There was things that I had to drop because she had to discipline me. I had to know that I live with someone that I don't need to come home late in the night drunk, right? And then by like when you live alone, like let's say we're dating, right? You live your life, I live mine, right? There is things that I would do because I'm just me. And like when we're together, there is things that I need to let it go because like we're together. There is a commitment there, right? So like for me, it was like when I say this, it's not like I don't want to marry her or like it's not something that I'm willing to. I really want to marry her now more than ever because I know who she is. Like I know like everything about her, right? I know every inch of her life, right? So like now I know the person that I want to marry. Like it's not like I'm gonna marry her and find out.
You know
I find
everything?
out first.
Can you repeat that? You know everything.
Yeah, I know everything.
Nice.
Yeah, like
I like that for you.
yeah, like trust me, I know everything. That's the reason why I'm telling you.
Do
this.
you?
Yeah, I really do.
Even the person don't know and everything about themselves. How can you tell? How can you say that? How can you say you know everything about another person?
I
Even
know
you yourself
everything
don't know
that
yourself
I
a
want to know
lot.
about her.
Everything that he wants to know.
Know
Oh,
about
okay.
her.
That's the correct way
yeah,
to
let me
put it
tell
then.
you. It's like you live in the same
Everything
house,
you want
right?
to know.
It's like you know sometimes you can pretend, but trust me, if you live in the same house, you can't pretend for 3 years more, right? That's the truth. Do you know the reason why like in COVID like divorce rate was high? It was because like people got time to be together. And then you find out like you've been with your partner for years, you have babies, but you don't know them. And then the time they had to be together, they have to wake up like, you know, and spend a day together. We're like,
No.
so this is really you. Like I can't take it.
Esther,
So
can I say something? Don't make the separation in COVID about you know they realize they don't know each other very well. There was a tragedy going on all over the world. People were depressed for some personal reasons. It's not about that they figured out they didn't know each other very well. It's also due to the fact that everyone was scared and a lot of things were unpredictable. So human nature, the way we are, we like to have things under our control. And the minute we lose control, we start conflict, like having intrapersonal conflict, right? Hence, you might say, oh, the reason why they separated is because they realized they didn't know each other well. But there are other factors at play that you cannot ignore.
I'm not really saying, you know, like let me tell you one thing. Let's say this, right?
Can
like
I
a
say
normal
something?
marriage, right? A normal marriage, like of two people who have jobs, right? Like the only time I think you spend together, like it's the honeymoon, right?
Yeah.
And weekends. And most of the time, weekends so is for someone to pretend, right? And then most of the time in the weekends, people they want to be themselves. They're like, hey, if I want to drink, I want to drink. If I want to go to my dudes, I want to go there. For ladies, they're like, oh my God, I missed just with my, you know, like there is things you always planned ahead to do in the weekends, right? But like the only time that people get together, like to be together, is the honeymoon. And it's always to pretend because the love is still, yeah. Trust me, it's the honeymoon. I'm just talking about two people who have job.
But kindly don't generalize. Don't make realities of some people, realities of some other people.
Let's not.
People take getaways even after having been married for 2 years. They go on vacation.
Like
no, yes, of course we're talking about
how many now like tell me like numbers of people who are able to do that in the country?
I would like for you to first give me the numbers of the people that only enjoy each other on the honeymoon, and then I'll give you my numbers of who I think. A getaway doesn't have to be in a fancy place. You can go back to the village. You can go to farm together. You can go on a walk.
Talking about again.
We are talking no, for sure. No, but that's your reality. It doesn't make it everyone's reality. Now, back to me, Esther. Back to me.
What you wanted to say?
I wanted to say that, you know, I think for you, getting to know each other is the main, you know, it's your ultimate goal. You want to know your partner, and I really love that about the argument you're bringing to the table, right? Now, look, I'd like to tell you that there's other ways that you could use to get to know your partner very well and also get advice from your elders. For example, before a couple gets married, let's say, for example, I've dated for 3 years, right? I've gone on occasional getaways with this person, but he's going to start debating or protesting that, you don't go on getaways or whatever. It's not a common thing for Rwandans, but it is. People get together in different kinds of ways, and it doesn't have to be the Western, the way the social media is painting it today, right?
Back to the point.
And I want to tell you that you could get to know each other and you could seek advice. You could do premarital counseling, which means that you go to the church, or you do couples therapy.
Church?
Yes. You go to church to ask your pastor before you get married. No, let me tell you.
Does he go to church?
Well, I don't.
I don't go to church either. It's been years, but let me tell you that there is alternatives.
Jesus,
How would you? No, well, no. I love Jesus. I'm spiritual, but going to Jesus and knowing Jesus are two different things. Back to the point.
Back to the point.
I want to say that there's different ways you could use to make sure that you and your partner are on the same page when you're getting into marriage. For you want to use a way of moving in together. But for me, as a traditional woman or someone that believes that elders' advice counts and therapy works, I would do either marriage counseling. I would like to first find somebody to advise us, like, these are the things that you are most likely to face. It's not a bed of roses. I would like to do couples therapy. You don't have to do therapy because everything is wrong. You can do therapy even when things are right, but you want to direct your life in a certain direction. You don't just have to do it alone. It's easy, or it's even better when you bring people to kind of help you, especially professional people that know the science of human relationships and how to navigate them. Now, cohabitation, yes, but also would you advocate for, yes, we are cohabiting and my ultimate goal is to get to know this person and now end up marrying them, but would you also opt for alternative ways to get to know your partner and to get advice from the people who have experienced it or who have learned it, to know how to navigate your relationship altogether?
So, we are going to conclude on this hot topic, sadly. I feel like we should have gone, but again, we cannot exhaust everything. So we're going to go on my right. This beautiful lady is going to tell us, in short, in brief, like, what have you learned and what do you think should actually be done? Are you going to stand on your values of no and no and no to the moving in together and all that? And after you, we will hear from him, and then I'll give the conclusion to this.
When I came here, I didn't know that it was going to be a very heated and yet educational. Like, I learned a lot, especially from him, and I realized that there's a lot of pros to moving in together. But I honestly decided to stand on my values, on my traditional values, what I've been told. I still want to get the dowry to my father first thing when I get married to a man. But I would like to just say to the ladies that they should be vigilant and see what protects them under the law, because protection is everything. Like he said, that women look for protection, men are providers. But we all are looking for protection, and the law does not say, oh, you are a woman, so the law is going to protect you. It also protects men. So I'm like, just be vigilant. Look at what benefits you in terms of legal protection, and look for your person, a person that really likes you, that has the purest intention. Go to therapy, try everything, because separation really leaves a lot of issues, anxiety. It would mess up with your mental health, self-esteem. Yeah, what I'm opting for is, like, for me, the ideal desire is for me to end up with a person that's really loving, genuine, and we are on the same trajectory. Like, he wants to help me grow. Yeah, that's basically what I would tell to people out there, to keep on looking for that person who, gives them the butterflies, but also is special in a way to help them grow. Growth is the ultimate goal for me. Yeah.
That's beautiful. He's gonna come. I'm feeling it coming.
No rush. I'm actually very happy being single.
Well, gentlemen.
Yeah. So, like, for me, I think I'm just trying to talk, like deep down there through me. So I think for the first thing, like, you really need to know the person that you really want to be with.
Yes.
And then like for the first, if you confirm that's the person that you want to be with, go through yourself. Like, am I the person she wants to be with? Like, if I'm her, could I be with someone like me?
Nice.
That's the first thing you have to look into. Because most of the time you're like, I made the perfect person. Like, this person is really good for me. She's this good. Like, are you that good to her? Like, could you date yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Are you willing to be with someone like it? That's the first question that you need to ask yourself.
Nice.
And then from there, you will know exactly what to do because you will know how to avoid things they hate. You avoid how to treat them like you want to be treated. But most of the time, we're like as a man, most of the time, we're willing to be with like perfect women, but like we're not perfect to them.
Yes.
So make sure that like you're gonna be perfect to that person before she be perfect to you. And then like from there you will know exactly if this is the real person that you want to be with. And then like moving in together, it will be the best thing from what like from how you feel, because most of the time the truth is we're in a changing world where like some cultures are imposed on us, some cultures that we take from the past. Like it's so like diversity. It's not about like the society. It's about how you feel and how you want to be happy. Because the society, one way or another, they will tell you to do something
Yeah.
that you feel like you don't want to. That's why most of the time we're like there is debates about like different topics. The LGBTQ like and all
Apt.
that, right? It's because there is a diversity of cultures that are coming in, right? So first you need to know that am I happy, like whatever that I'm doing, am I agree with it? It's not about the society, because let me tell you one thing, the society will judge you but will never suffer the consequences of what you're doing. That's the first thing you have to keep in mind. They'll force you into marriage that you don't want. If you don't have food to eat, you never got to tell anybody that I don't have food, right? Like it
Yes.
means they are willing to force you to do things, but they're not willing to be with you when the
Yeah, free
suffering is
will.
coming. Yeah. So make sure that whatever that you're trying to do, you want it, right? Like you feel it, because like that will be the best choice that will ever do for your life. So I'm not telling people to move in if they don't want to, but I'm just telling you, just do it because you feel like you want it.
Yes.
And then make sure you have a purpose with that person. And then marriage will be the best thing that will ever happen to you if you lived with the person first.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, everyone. That was Scoop on Scoop. We had beautiful ideas going on. We had beautiful minds here. Guys, it was very, very, very much
I
a
had a
pleasure to
blast,
have
girl.
you.
That was
It was
nice.
very
Thank you
nice
for having
having you.
us.
Thank you. That was Scoop on Scoop.